guys, welcome to BWA's baking segment. I am your favorite baker, Kim Gold, and today we are going to be making a braided loaf bread, but we're going to do it with a twist. In our braids, we're going to incorporate coconut and pineapple for that tropical flavor. So, to start our braided loaf, we have to start with the dough. The main ingredient we're going to need is our flour. We're going to use some sugar, and of course we're going to need some salt, and we're going to need Kerrygold butter. Now y'all know how I feel about Kerrygold. Nothing goes better without Kerrygold. We're going to need oil, and most important, we're going to need our Fermipan Yeast. So we're going to start with some warm water. We're going to add our sugar. After which, we're going to add our oil. And we already have our flour. We're going to add salt to this. And the reason why we're going to add salt to the flour and not to the yeast mixture is because salt kills yeast the minute it gets in contact with it. And we're going to give that a quick whisk. Now, after we've added our dry to our wet ingredients, we're going to give this a quick mix, and this is going to be the premix to our dough. And we're going to mix this all the way through until it is fully combined, and then we're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes before we add our Kerrygold butter. Okay, so what I'm actually doing here is I am mixing my wet and dry ingredients together to form which is called a pre-mixed dough. And we're just going to do this until all of the flour dissolves out of the bowl. Just a quick pre-mix. Okay, so your pre-mixed dough should look pretty much like this. Still sticky, but that's okay. Stickiness is fine. If you have any saran wrap nearby, you can use it to just put a quick cover on your bowl with your premix. So you want it to rest for 10 minutes, but you also want it covered. Pre-warning, when you add the Kerrygold to the dough, it's gonna start off real gooey and yucky. You see how I got all that butter up? Yeah, this will be lit. All right, so when you've already incorporated the butter in your dough while it's still in the bowl, it should pretty much look like this now. See that? Once you keep working with it, eventually it'll come together and it's gonna look just like this. The first thing I always teach my students when I'm teaching them how to bake bread is that we're going to start with a stretch knead process. And this stretch knead process is used to help activate the gluten in the dough. And that's what causes all the elasticity properties to come through, and then you end up with this really smooth, stretchy dough, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do the stretch knead method. What you want to do first, and I know you're saying, well, how come you don't put flour on the counter? No, miss. We ain't want no dry bread what you could brace people with. To start our stretch knead, the first thing we do first is we take our hand like so, right? And we fold our dough in like this. And then we take our hands, you're gonna have the left one here, the right one here, and then what you do is that you stretch like that, okay? You pull it back in like that, see? Nothing on the counter, we don't need flour, right? We fold it in like this, and then we stretch it out like that. You notice at the beginning when we did it, it used to tear apart, remember? Now it's actually coming together, all right? And this is what we're looking for after we've done the stretch kneading for roughly 4 to 5 minutes. Now, I'm going to introduce you to another kneading technique, and I call this the therapeutic kneading technique because it allows you to slap the dough on the counter. Is you hold your dough like so, you hold it in a position that when you go to lift it, to slap it on the counter, your dough will, you know, go forward. So you hold it like this to give it a good grip, and then you start off like this. See what I mean? And then you fold it, you take the palm of your hand, and you push it forward. And that's what we call the slap kneading method. If you see, you pull the dough like this, right? And it has a stretchy texture just like this, you know you're ready. Just like this. If you're able to pull the dough and it automatically rips off, that means you need to continue to knead until it becomes to the texture just like this, all right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna ball this up, turn this to a nice big ball, and we're gonna set this to rise for an hour. And we'll be right back. And now we're going to release the air gas out of it. Oh, my favorite. This is so not illegal. You know when you can, you know, somebody, you just say, huh? Huh? Yeah, just like that. Now that it is completely risen, we're gonna let this relax because we're gonna separate our dough into 3 in order to prepare the braided dough for our baking sheet. What we did is that we separated our dough in 3 equal pieces because we're gonna roll each one out, and we're gonna add our coconut and our pineapple filling in our dough, okay? So this is how we're gonna roll out. Let me put it here. Roll out each of our dough. We're gonna roll it out like this, because when we roll it out and we put our filling in, we're gonna roll it like that so it could come into one long log like that, because that's what we're gonna do to braid the dough together. So I'm just gonna demonstrate how I'm going to do the coconut one first, okay? So after we rolled it out just like this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Kerrygold butter and we're going to give this a nice, generous touch of Kerrygold. And try to do it all in the middle because you want our 2 ends to be free so we can pinch it at the end after we're done putting our filling in it. All right, the Kerrygold is for the flavor, I might as well tell you. And then we're going to add our coconut, and we're gonna do it just like that. We're gonna add it in the middle. I'm going to illustrate to you and show you how we're going to braid all 3 of these doughs together, okay? So we're starting with the middle, and we're going to add these here at the 2 ends, like so. I'm going to bring them together, and just like you're braiding here, you're going to take this one, make sure everything is together. You don't want any of your fillings coming out. So we're gonna cross one over like so. Okay. Then the other. As you can see, I demonstrated how I braid, and to be honest with you, we're home bakers, so I know it's not going to be done professionally. That's fine. Just do your very best, and it should come out looking just like this. And now what we're going to do, we're going to rest this on a baking sheet with parchment paper, and we're going to allow this to rise for 30 minutes until it's double in size. We're going to put some melted butter on it, and we're going to allow it to bake for 20 to 25 minutes. see that? Oh wow. This is the result of our breaded loaf. And I made sure to make a nice family size, you know. We have coconut, pineapple, tropical flavor going all through this. We all know what we have to garnish her with. The lovely Kerrygold Butter. So we're just gonna give her a nice, generous brush of that Kerrygold just to give it a nice gloss, like so. So what we did to just finish off our braided bread, we made some nice glaze with our Lantic icing sugar. Really good, has a good flavor. All you have to do is add just maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk or water. And yeah, I add a little bit of Kerrygold too. And you could just, see? Just drizzle her all over. Okay, doesn't have to have no specific way of doing it. We just want everyone just to get just a little. There's no specific way to glaze your braided bread, okay? So after I finished glazing my braided loaf, I transferred it right to this little beautiful serving platter pan right here, and then I cut into it. And I just want you to just get a peek of, you know, close on the inside. I tell you, we got coconut. Look how all that coconut going through there, look. All that coconut, and then you got pineapple, and then you got more pineapple going there and coconut. All right, guys, so we have reached the end of our segment. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so until I see you next time, have a wonderful day and happy baking.